Siri, Alexa, how far is Chile from Paris? From a surrealist world, let us plunge into absurdism. Albert Camus was born in 1913 in Algeria, which is more than 2,000 kilometers from Paris, where he died in 1960. When he was about a year old, his father was called to war, got wounded, and died before the end of 1914. His mother, who was withdrawn, became more reclusive. In his writings, Camus shared ambivalent feelings towards his mother. Albert was into different sports and an active lifestyle until he turned 17 when he contracted tuberculosis. The illness shaped his theory of the absurd. Camus found it absurd that he should be so full of life and curiosity while knowing that his life could soon end. Amidst the fight for Algerian independence from France, Camus received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1957. He dedicated his acceptance speech to his fifth grade teacher. He explained why he did not make a stand between Algeria and France, saying, "True artists force themselves to understand instead of judging." Albert Camus wrote the philosophical essay The Myth of Sisyphus in 1942, the same year his famous novel The Stranger got published. The essay contains a sympathetic analysis of contemporary nihilism and touches on the nature of the absurd. Camus argues that life is essentially meaningless. He uses the Greek legend of Sisyphus to reflect the absurdity of struggling, persisting, and putting the effort in everyday life. Sisyphus was condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up and watch it roll down repeatedly and endlessly. He could not end his life. Suicide is not an acceptable response. According to Camus, the only option is to rebel by rejoicing in the act of rolling the boulder up and watching it roll down the hill. Camus believes that joyful acceptance of defeat defines meaning. Absurdism and its drama friend Theater of the Absurd started in plays written by Western European and American playwrights in the 1950s and even early 1960s. Back then, it was a new style which ignored theatrical conventions and thwarted expectations. Characters were nameless. There was no clear notion of time and place. Absurdity characterizes a world that no longer makes sense. Rational decisions are impossible. Actions are meaningless and futile. In absurd literature, readers can find orators who speak gibberish, a clock that strikes 17, or a rhino walking across the stage. This literary movement also features a layer of cruelty and violence. Readers can find a blind man being beaten up, team of assassins committing random murder, humorous relationships with a very dark and insensitive background. It might come in handy if one is to practice writing to keep these qualities of absurd literature in mind. Absurd characters. They abandon traditional character development. Characters do not have clear identities or distinguishing features. Simple denouement. Since almost nothing happens in the plot, the denouement has little to resolve. Endings are repetitious. These echo what absurdists believed in. Human efforts are pointless. Special dialogue. There is always a marked contradiction between speech and action. Characters claim they are leaving but actually stay. Dialogues mimic the style of educated and sophisticated speech. They are actually artificial, empty, and meaningless. Passive plot. In absurd literature, nothing happens. Even when characters do actions, these actions do not connect or develop into any sort of narrative or logical sequence of events. Allocated setting. An absurdist text is set nowhere. The story runs in no recognizable time or place. In an absurdist play, the stage is sparse or totally crammed. It is meant to mimic the emptiness of the characters' lives or the pointlessness of what they do. We hope you enjoy this video lesson on the absurd.
Reading stories should be fun. See you in our video lesson. Get started now.